Hello, guys, and I'm here with the last night's episode of Once Upon a Time, entitled "Quite a Common Fairy." Hold on, Quite a Common Fairy, and this is their episode of the third season. And in this episode, the character backstories are the Evil Queen and Tinkerbell. And no, Tinkerbell is not as she is in what we know her in. Well, pretty much, I guess you could say she is sort of how she is in the movie version. So anyway, at the start of this episode, we have our heroes still on a hunt for Henry and Peter Pan. Then, as they look at the map, they realize that Peter Pan is moving his camp. Like, really, Peter Pan, you gonna give me a freaking map and you gonna deliberately move your camp? Like, really? You seriously, Peter Pan needs a whooping? So Hook suggests that the only way to find probably Peter Pan's camp is to find somebody he trusts, who is, Tinkerbell. And Emma's like, wait a minute, Tinkerbell. I'm like, I'm just looking at him like, really, you really should not be surprised when you hear the name Tinkerbell, given the fact that you are in Neverland and you just met Hook and Peter Pan and the Lost Boy. You really should not be surprised when Tinkerbell comes up. I'm just saying, your mother is Snow White, okay? This should not be a shock to you. Just saying. Just saying. So we see over in Peter Pan's camp, along with all the Lost Boys, Peter is trying to convince Henry, hey, it's fun up in Neverland. Yeah, let's have fun. So he ends up, telling Henry to shoot this apple off this Lost Boy's head with this poison arrow. Henry decides, okay, he looks like he's about to shoot it, but then he goes to shoot at Peter, but Peter catches it, like, I'm so awesome. So we're guessing that Peter had a lot of practice catching arrows that get a shot at him, since people always seem to want to kill him. Obviously you take boys away. So we did see, back to our group, that Regina is not really excited to go see Tinkerbell. So we find out that obviously she has some history with Tinkerbell. I'm like, but given the fact that it is Regina, and we know that most characters she has come in contact with do not like her, it's safe to say that Tinkerbell was going to be one of those people that does not like her. So we find out that in flashback is around the time that she is now married to the king. Snow White has already pretty much ratted out that to her mom that and her man got killed. So she's obviously mad at Snow. She ends up trying to kill herself, even though she said she wasn't, and she ends up meeting Tinkerbell. So apparently, Tink, as a fairy, they have the ability to make her so small, like we know that they'll be like we know she is, and then she can make herself big, and she can kind of retract her wings. And I liked her outfit. A lot of people didn't like her outfit. I thought it was cute. I mean, some say she should have a pixie cut because she's a pixie. I'm like, whatever. I thought her outfit was freaking cute. Okay. So Tink and her talk about kind of become like this friendship sort of forms, and Rena's like, Snow White got my man killed and everything. Tink's like, no, kind of like because Tinkerbell's like so sweet. She really doesn't know what actually happened, but that's kind of sort of is the truth. Snow White, even though she had good intentions, she did get her true love, Regina's true love, killed. Just saying. So Tinkerbell's like, I can help you. I can help you find happiness. All she has to do is get some more pixie dust. And Regina's like, really? You could help me? Yeah, get rid of all this anger and you can find, start anew with your new true love. And so Tink is then has to go because she's summoned by, I guess you would say, the fairy court. So when she goes small and we see her go into this flower, for some reason I was expecting to see the rest of the fairies from the Disney fairy line, like Silver Mist and Iridescent. For some reason I was hoping to see them, but I didn't. We see the blue fairy, the blue fairy from Pinocchio. So apparently she's like the top fairy up in this thing, and she pretty much reprimands Tinkerbell about what she's doing and tells her to pretty much stay away from Regina, that Regina is not a good person. But Tinkerbell's like, I thought we were supposed to give everybody a second chance. Like, Tinkerbell's like so optimistic. She like really wants to help Regina find happiness. Because sometimes you gotta try to see the good in people. And so if that's all Tinkerbell sees is the good in Regina, and she can help her find happiness and get rid of all this anger and revenge that she's holding in. So she ends up doing the opposite of what the blue fairy tells her, and she steals pixie dust. And so she gets back to Regina, and she uses pixie dust to make her fly, and she uses pixie dust to like pretty much lead the way to her Regina's new happiness. And we find out this guy's at a bar. We don't never see his face, but we just see this tattoo on his arm, which is like this, like a lion within a shield, like a shield. Like, yeah. I think it sounded right. Yeah, a lion that's on a shield is a tattoo on the guy's wrist. So she tells me that all she has to do is go in there, and you can start anew. You can have happiness. So Tinkerbell then walks off, and we see Gina. She opens the door, but then she gets scared, and then she doesn't go in the door. So she never goes to the guy and start a new life of happiness, as we can see. So far, given the storyline. And we then see Tink run into the Blue Fairy, who reprimands Tinkerbell for what she has done. And she does the worst thing you could possibly do to a fairy. She told Tink she didn't believe in her anymore, and Tinkerbell lost her wings. No, Tinkerbell, no. I do believe in fairies. I do. Help Tinkerbell out, people. Like, apparently that is absolutely the worst thing ever. I'm just glad it didn't kill her, because in the Peter Pan, I think it was the 2003 version, you tell her, if you gotta believe in fairies, because if you don't believe in fairies, apparently they die. In this case, they just lose their wings. So, yes, it's sad that she lost her wings, but it's not sad that she's still here. No. So we realize that Tinkerbell has been tracking the group, and she ends up putting some sort of spell on Regina, which knocks her unconscious, and we find out she's in this cave. And Regina finds out that everything that Tinkerbell's lost and everything, and tries to figure out, and Tinkerbell's trying to figure out that she has gone over a million times head that pixie dust work. So why didn't you go in? And Regina comes to says that she was scared. She felt that if she let go of all that anger and that hatred she had for Snow White, that she would have lost herself. So she held on that to instead. And she goes and takes out her own heart and tells Tinkerbell, here, you want your revenge, take it. But Tinkerbell, like, I'm gonna do it. And she pretty much sort of Regina goes to and warns Tinkerbell that if you do it, that you'll pretty much end up just like me. I mean, look, they show you her heart. It's pretty much black except for like a speckle of like red in it. And that she's here to save Henry. And that Tinkerbell decides, I'm not going to take that path of revenge, but I'm not going to help you either. So Snow, David, Emma, and Hook, they realize, they get to Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell's not here. They find out she's been tracking Regina, so they go to get Regina. And they realize, and Regina says, don't worry, I'm safe. Because they were about to kill poor little Tink. Tink has no pixie dust, no fairy wings, because she lost her wings. And that she's going to help them. But since Peter Pan trusts Tinkerbell, I wonder if they're dating. Because we know in the cartoon version that Tinkerbell has this major crush on Peter Pan. So I'm curious if they're like, does she still have a crush on Peter Pan in this version of Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, or are they like a brother sister thing, or is it more like Peter Pan's more like, yo, Tink, you do what the hell I say kind of thing, I'm curious, I just thought about that, like, it's like a curiosity thing. Hopefully they'll explain it later in the series. So Tink said, you have this one chance to get in, so they end up going to go off and devise a plan to get into the camp and take back Henry. Meanwhile, in the Enchanted Forest, Neil is trying to figure out a way to get to Neverland. So he sees Robin Hood's kid and be like, I got a way to get there. And Robin Hood, once he hears the idea from Neil, is like, no. I already lost my wife. I'm not going to lose my kid. Are you crippin'? So he eventually, after hearing Neil's plea, decides to give in and let the child, do the thing. So they have the little boy. Mulan places them strategically, because you have to know she is a warrior. She has saved China from the Huns. She is a freaking warrior, man. So they get in their positions, and the little boy goes, I believe. And then the freaking shadow that comes in, trying to take the boy away, and then Mulan goes, ha, with a sword, and then Neil jumps out at him and grabs the shadow's feet, so he's off to the second star, to the right, and straight off to morning. And so we didn't have Mulan, but who's still in Channel Force, along with Robin Hood. Robin Hood tells Mulan that, you could come join my married men, even though you'll be the, first woman to do so. She's like, I'm kind of used to being the first woman to do something, given the fact that she's a woman who saved her whole country of China. Okay. So she decides that, given the advice that she got from Neil, tell people that you love them before it's too late. She decides to go back to Aurora Feldman to tell, the person that she loves them. So I'm guessing that it's Philip, but guess what? We get a twist to Mulan's story. She's in love with Princess Aurora. How the hell did that happen? Like, seriously, where in her plotline does it suggest that she becomes a lesbian? That's all I want to know. Where in the plotline does it say that? Because I don't like people just throwing random stuff into a plotline and just all of a sudden it's there, I need to see how it transforms there. I need to see how it gets there. I have no problem with lesbians or gays, okay? I have friends that's lesbians. I have friends that are gays. I think they're awesome. You guys are cool. And this became like this twist to the story. I would tell you is the most talked about thing about this whole freaking episode is the fact that Mulan might be a lesbian. Now, on the Facebook page of Once Upon a Time when I've read a lot of comments. Some was like, "Oh my God, yay! Mulan is coming out! Like, yay! Lesbians, people of the LGBT community, they can have a happy ending too. They can have happy ending fairy tales too." And then some saying like that is wrong of Mulan, be given the fact that Prince Philip and Aurora are true love mates. That Mulan would pretty much be a housebreaker whether she was in love with Aurora or Prince Philip. She's ruining somebody's relationship, and some people don't agree with that, which I think, in that aspect, yeah, that is kind of wrong. And Aurora, Sleeping Beauty, is also pregnant too. I forgot to add it in. There's also some people saying that they was liking the show so far, but with this revelation that Mulan may be a lesbian because she has feelings for Princess Aurora, that they're not gonna watch the show anymore because they're cold Christian face of the whole gay thing, everything. And then there's some people that feel that Mulan that they don't feel that Mulan should be a lesbian because of the fact that she is a warrior woman, and they feel that that what is this telling little girls that you can't be a strong, powerful warrior woman without being a lesbian? That's how some people are in that situation. So there's very many views on this Mulan revelation that she's a lesbian. I just want to know if they're going to show us what's in the plotline. At what point in time did she fall in love with Aurora? Because for the longest time, I'm thinking she was in love with Philip because that's what we've seen. That's what we have been shown. I just want to know where in the plotline did she went from Philip to Aurora, or is she bisexual? I just want to know what's in the plotline. Like, just show me. Just don't randomly, let's make her a lesbian. I don't like that when they do that to storylines and TV shows and movies where they just automatically just put something there. I don't like that. It's called a story. Give me a story. It's called creative writing. that just bothers me when you just randomly throw something like that in there. You know what I'm saying? Where in her timeline of that Mulan has been on the show where she has fallen in love with Prince Philip? We have seen it. We have seen it. That's what I'm saying. Show me the evidence. Don't just randomly have her run to Aurora, and Aurora says, "I'm pregnant," and Mulan goes and walks away, and I says, "I'm going to join the married man," and she starts crying. Don't just randomly give that to me. Where in her plotline we see her falling for Aurora? I need to see the falling. I need to see the falling in love. I need to see it. I need to see the fall in love. Okay? It's like we saw Snow White fall in love with Prince Charming. We saw Regina fall in love with her man, and we see Hook fall in love with Emma. The point is, show me. Just don't throw it in there. Show me. So, anyway, with that whole revelation, we then see later we see Tinkerbell in the group. They're at camp, they're chilling out, and we see Tinkerbell sit by Regina and said that when she did not go into that bar, that your happy ending was not the only one you ruined. You ruined his as well. And Regina's like, wait, what? Like, whoa, how the heck did I ruin his happy ending? And we go to see Mulan again. Back to she goes to Robin Hood, says, "I'm going to join your married man." And we, as they embrace in a handshake, we see Robin Hood's wrist, And it's the lion, the shield of the lion on the shield. It was freaking Robin Hood that she was supposed to be with. Now a lot of people was like questioning about this too. Like, wait a minute, I thought he was supposed to be Mary with Maid and Marian. I'm like, yeah, obviously she was a chick that died. So obviously the fact that given the fact that she didn't get with Robin Hood, that obviously their lives could be different. So obviously that it could have been that when if she would have got with Robin Hood, it could have been her that got with Robin Hood, married, and could have and a little boy could have been hers. So I guess in that way, and in that way that could have and kind of ruined the happiness and the fact that he lost his wife. He's lonely. You know what I'm saying? He's lonely. So in that case, they both know how to happen. You went for revenge. Robin Hood is out doing his thing, and he's lonely. You guys need to get together. And I think that would definitely be an interesting thing. Robin Hood, King of Thieves, Regina, the evil queen of Snow White. That's definitely an interesting thing. I'll tell you that much. So anyway, that is all for that episode of episode 3 of Once Upon a Time, Quite a Fairy. Apparently, yeah, so I want to know what your guys' opinions on the whole revelation of Regina and Robin Hood being soulmates and Mulan's coming out of the closet that she may be a lesbian. How do you feel like? Do you agree with it? Does it bother you? Like, what are your opinions on this? I just want to know. And next week's episode is titled Nasty Habits. It will be the 4th episode. The background story will be for that one will be Rumpelstiltskin. And what I could see from the synopsis, which states that Mr. Gold makes a decision to confront Pan, but will he go there to save Henry, or will he give in to the prophecy that the boy will be his undoing? Neil finds himself back in Neverland and in the custody of one of Pan's most loyal lost boys. And David struggles for his life as the poison continues to take its toll on him. Meanwhile, in the fairy tale land that was, Rumpelstiltskin goes in search of a missing bae who has followed a mysterious figure who steals away children with his music. So I'm guessing with the whole mysterious figure who steals away children with music, I'm guessing we're going to see the Pied Piper in this one. So I'll see you guys next Sunday for Once Upon a Time. Bye.